Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Charles here. It's been a while since you heard from me. Doing a little bit of fence row trimming. Out here with my son. He's helping. You're going to have to pardon the wind. I don't have one of those dead cats like William. Well, we did do a little trimming a few weekends ago. See, we reached up, trimmed that off. We got a pile of wood here. We got the limbs all chipped up, and that's what I'm going to talk about. I got the 730 tractor out here that we restored several years ago. This is what I grew up on. Spent many hours on this tractor. It wasn't quite as nice, and we always had a running joke, the Comfort King. It wasn't exactly comfortable. It's not as nice as the new ones, obviously, today, but we do enjoy running it. And we've got the Brush Bandit Model 90 chipper. This was a 3-point chipper that I purchased years ago because I hated clearing brush. One time I spent 6 weeks clearing brush around a new property that had a nice woods, and by the time I got all the fields cleared around it, I couldn't walk in the woods, and I said I'm not going to do that again, so I just take my time. This was a 3-point PTO driven one. I didn't want another engine around to maintain. Ended up building this trailer for it. I had it done. A good friend of mine named Clarence, and have put some other upgrades on it. Slip clutch, a banded belt right there, and the older I got, the harder it was to spin the spout around, so had that made, hydraulic motor into a gearbox so we could rotate it with a lever. That sure has made use of this a lot easier. This will handle up to a 9-inch log. I do not put those in it. Usually cut those for firewood. The other nice tool, as I've gotten older, it's harder to run a chainsaw, and you're out here with your son. You don't want to get hurt or killed, so we are using the New Holland skid steer. And we bought this hydraulic clipper. Hydraulic tree shear. It shears them off. I like it. It telescopes out. I was hoping, they probably wouldn't want you to do this, that you'd be able to hold a log there and someone chip or snip it right into firewood, but it kind of just pushes it out as they come together. So might make a little attachment that pins on the end or something for that. But I've been impressed so far, happy with it, and we'll show you what we're doing here. You can see over the years it's a lot of work for people to maintain their fence rows and the edges. Look how much edge we have here. And these limbs, they're not very big, but they are high and they reach out, and it's better than being in a bucket. I have trimmed from a bucket, but you're taking your life in your own hands when you do stuff like that, and honestly it ain't worth it. So get you a little action here of what we're doing today. This is our neighbor's corn. We're going to try to trim these back. We're trying to get all the way back to that hedge. That's a big hedge down there that is growing over sideways and kept growing. It broke off, but it didn't die. And you can see, if you can get in here, there's a lot of width in here from the trees out to where they are. So these have been swatting the combine for years. My neighbor is a really good neighbor, and so when I can, I try to either mow or do things like this for him around the boundary where his field touches my ground, and that's what we're doing today. you can see, I got those cut and ready to chip. This we will probably keep for firewood. Process it later now that it's on the ground, but we'll chip these up. And we got that nice and snipped off. We are going to move our spout so we're not blowing on the tractor and equipment. It's so nice, you can go either direction. And it's all ran by the PTO on the tractor. Took those big limbs and reduced them to a pile like that. You can spread it out and put it back into the soil along the fence row, and you can walk through. We got our firewood there. That's just from one limb, and I just kind of clean up as I go. And we're going to get started now. Probably won't do much more taping, but we'll get started and go from there. Have a good day. All right, my son is taking the skid steer back up to the barn. We've got a nice arch going on, keeping everything cleaned up as we go. And we got all them limbs chipped up into these little piles here. That's nice. Got a little bit of firewood. And so we're getting closer to the end down there. There's where we're headed. It does a pretty nice job. You can do it safely. Just take your time. I think we were at this a couple hours and trimmed back some more. We'll trim those ones up there next when we have more time, and just keep pushing. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.